This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the UK's #1 coral selling website, prestigereef.co.uk and reefdork.etsy.com for all your 3D printed aquarium accessory needs. What's up, YouTube? Hello, everybody. Welcome to, just mute that, the Prestige Reef Dork Show. Sunday night, Prestige Reef Dork Show. I cheated on you yesterday, Ryan.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet.
Well, you should feel good about it because we don't do guests.
True.
And so that was the reason I put him on the Saturday. But I had a chat with dinoflagellates, Max dinoflagellate group, support group, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I felt bad about it, if it makes you feel better. So.
Should we explain why we don't do guests? Because otherwise it looks like I'm the hostile one that you had to do separately.
Yeah, because I always offer guests to come on and Ryan's like, no, it's not happening.
That's not even true. It doesn't work, does it? We've tried
it. No, it's just... So when Mac approached me and asked if he could come on the stream, and I was like, we tried it before and it just doesn't really work with guests. But I wanted to talk to him, so I was like, let's do a Saturday night one. I don't want to get into the habit of doing 2 live streams a weekend. But he was really good. And actually, if you haven't seen it, if you missed it, I've uploaded it as a podcast as well, and you can go and watch it. He's really interesting and he's really useful. He's not like a scientist, but he knows how to beat dinos. So if you get dinos, check out the Max dinoflagellate support group Facebook page. There's loads of information on there, and it'll take it from a nightmare to, oh, that wasn't so bad actually. But yeah, so I've been unfaithful.
I actually might go back and that might be one I actually watch. That probably would have been a live stream that I would have been good to be on, but just said no. No, I actually think I will watch it. Okay. Because it's one of those things which is quite, people struggle a lot with, and trust me, like, people in this hobby, they get to a certain stage and then they think that they've learned everything. Trust me, you can keep learning forever, and this is something that I can learn about. So if I can learn something from it, even if it's a boring topic, because it's not the most exciting topic, is it?
It's not sexy, no.
No.
But the thing with dinos is that, because no one really, when you go and look for how to beat dinos, there aren't really any places where you can go and get a sensible guide. It's all kind of hearsay and he said, she said sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go on his Facebook page, there's a guide of this is what you do, and it's various steps. It's not like turn your temperature up or use UV. It's not as simple as that. You've got to ID it properly, make sure you know what you're dealing with, and then you've got to follow the treatment, and you've got to do various things, lots of manual removal, maybe UV, maybe diatoms, various things like this.
Yeah.
And he talks through all the myths about raising temperature doesn't work. For example, some people think it does. Blackouts aren't great for it because it will just come back. Various things. It was really interesting. I enjoyed that. It was good.
Yeah.
But it's not the Prestige Reef Dork Show. This is 2 hours of nonsense.
Yeah. Well, I do like that. I've just realised when you called me in the middle of the week, I think, and I was in the coral farm, and you're like, oh, I'm just thinking about having this person on. Was that you going, is this okay?
I wanted to know what you thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know me.
I know you don't really care.
I can hardly care about anything, do I?
I know, but I figured I was thinking I'll probably just do it separately. But I wanted to see if you said, "Oh, that sounds amazing. I'd bloody love to talk about dinos for 2 hours." No. I'd be like, "All right, maybe." But no, it's Anyway, so if you missed that one, you can check it out. It was good. Tonight, so we'll do the old what's it called? Week in Reefing first. But then before we get on to, I don't know, at some point we'll talk about AquaH, which is starting to build a bit of steam now.
A lot of steam compared to, like, obviously it's sort of like starting to get much faster, isn't it?
Completely, yeah. And there's loads of, there's about 7 or 8, 9 coral vendors. 7.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I had a look and there's a lot. But we'll talk about that at some point. But before we do that, how's your week in reefing?
Actually, I've done quite a lot this week in reefing.
Okay.
Because people that listen to the live stream regularly will know that there was a work experience person starting.
Of course.
and he started on Thursday and Friday. If you're in the chat, make yourself known, because I know he does listen to these, although I think he listens to us as a podcast usually. Okay. But it has been absolutely brilliant. I have literally loved it. Originally, I said no. I'm not sure if I said no. I thought about saying no, and I actually can't wait for him to. So he's doing it every 2 weeks. I can't wait for him to come back now, because we got so much done.
Well, because this is not like a 16-year-old at school work experience situation, is it?
No. So this, I won't say his name because he might not want to be identified, but he works in several. There you go. Work experience lads in the chat. Sam Green. He works in a few different maidenheads. They sort of move him around. So he knows about fish and coral and he said to me, I believe this is correct, that he came to learn, and that's what we are doing. So and he'll probably confirm this, although when a work experience person comes, normally they give them the shit jobs. They go, here's an algae scraper or whatever it is. I said to him, look, I'm going to give you the fun job, so you're going to spend the day fragging, and I'm going to do the shit jobs. So I was literally cleaning out the sumps and all like the detritus, which has been there for 4 years, and just like having a massive spring clean. But it's just nice to have someone to talk to.
But he's studying a course or something, and this is part of that. Yeah.
Yes. So I think they have to do. I'm not sure how many hours, but quite a lot of hours work experience. I think it's Sparshot. Yeah. I had to be very serious at first. He had to sign a disclaimer. I had to speak to the insurance company about having someone to come out and help.
Oh, in case he injures himself or whatever.
Yeah, in case he injures himself. We did a safety talk of the coral farm. So I'm like, look, this stall is yours. These ones are broken. Don't use these ones.
Sam, if you injure yourself, give me a shout. I know a PI lawyer, personal injury lawyer. We'll get you some compo.
Well, he signed his life away, so it's too late. Basically,
you can't contract out of personal injury. So, you know.
Well, we'll see about that.
Anyway.
And I was like, these are zoas. You may have seen these before while working at Maidenhead, but don't go near them until we've had more training on them. But yeah, and we've got a lot done. It's interesting because when you work by yourself, you choose how long you want to work. And some days you're in the mood for it, and some days you're not in the mood for it. When you have someone else there with you, you have to be in the mood for it. The same as everyone who has a normal job, a 9 to 5 job where they're expected. You don't have a choice. But it has literally been like fantastic. I didn't expect to have this sort of like feeling, but it really was good. So we've stripped down, as I said, 2 of the tanks. Loads of frags have been done. We got new corals. Some of them are on the website, some aren't on the website. I'm trying to think of what else we did. I got him an ice cream because, I'm like a good boss. So,
ice cream, okay.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think what else. Some of the other stuff I did other than that, I fragged some of the bounce mushrooms, which I've not done for a while, which is something I will go through with Sam because there's things to do when you're fragging bounce mushrooms, if you see what I mean. It's especially when they cost so much money.
Yeah.
So I did that. Also, the other exciting thing we had to do, a fish jumped out of the coral tray into the sump underneath. Now, it's hard to describe on the live stream, but I have filmed it, and because there's no way for this fish to get in there, basically.
Because there are two. There's a tank stacked on top of another tank, basically,
yes.
like 12 inches above. So they're exactly lined up together. So you're thinking it's not possible for him to have jumped out, swerved back in, and gone in there.
No. So there's two choices. So basically, it may have jumped down the back and jumped about probably a foot, maybe a bit more than a foot, and just landed into a hole which was probably like 4 inches wide, or it went through the entire filtration system, which is basically a roller coaster. Part of it is not even in the water because obviously it's the filter media that the fish would have landed on. So
it would have been like this across the top of the filter floss.
In the end, what I did, because it was in the tank, I literally drained the entire tank down so that the fish had no swimming room. And it was risky because if it swam into a section we couldn't get to, the access of it is literally just your arm. You can just about fit your arm in there. But we did manage to get it out in the end, so that was good. And then I put it back into a tank, and it was immediately attacked by another tang.
Two tangs, they're just a nightmare.
So it's now in an acclimation box. It has a gash in its side, and it's quite a serious wound, but it's fine now. As in it's eating and it's swimming around.
Yeah.
And fish can handle quite serious wounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. Someone said, did Sam get paid? Sam was given access to whatever corals he wanted, basically within reason. So, but yeah, because I didn't. Although Sam said he didn't expect anything at all in return, I didn't want to do nothing. If you see what I mean, that isn't who I am. So
you were like, have a Zoa, mate.
No, I literally said, just what, like, is there anything you like? And he went, oh, I'll have this. And then I went, is there anything else? And he went, oh, what about this? There's anything else? And he went, no, it's all right. I'm like, how can you only pick 2 corals out of thousands of corals? But next week or next time he comes, he'll be like, I've got a list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, he needs to get a bit more comfortable, get to know you a bit better. True. Then he can be like, yeah, I want 5 gunnies. And
to be fair, the other thing is Sam did get to go to the wholesaler as well and pick whatever he wanted. So
okay.
So that's also a benefit. So yes,
cool.
Yeah, and other than that, I think that is pretty much as I said, the fish is still in quarantine. Nothing exciting to report, and the tank is still blacked out, which I may now be realizing is not doing what I need to watch the dinoflagellates, because that's obviously not going to work. What should I be doing? You tell me what I should be doing with that.
Well, you said it was diatoms, right?
No, originally it was diatoms. This is dinoflagellates.
Oh, right. Okay, fine. In which case, firstly, you need to identify what type of dinoflagellates it is. And then you need...
Have you got the microscope I need?
No, it's 140 quid or something.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do it. I think I will get it at some point, to be fair. Just at the moment, I've burnt all my cash.
Yeah.
But I'll get one at some point, because I think it'll just be interesting. But you need to get the microphone, identify what type you're dealing with, and then you'll know if it's the easy one that responds to UV. Happy days. Just run UV from the tank back into the tank, not through the sump, and you're laughing. If it's some of the other ones, you'll need to add water glass. I bought some water glass. This is a problem with these live streams. So the one I did yesterday, there was half a dozen things that you were like, this is really good, this is really good, this is really good. And I was writing down this list of stuff. And now I've got a list of like 300 quid's worth of stuff I need to buy. But anyway, so some of if it's the type, if it's the other type, you might want to get silicates, and then those silicates, which is water glass, it's called sodium silicate. Put some of that in your tank, and then you'll get a diatom outbreak, and that will outcompete the dinos. But there's various things. The first step is to find out which one you're dealing with, and then you work out how to beat it, because not all of them respond to the same treatment.
Is it beneficial blacking the tank out? Even though they will come back.
He says no. He says no, and they'll come back worse, because he said, so again, he's not a scientist, and this is me regurgitating what he said, so I might have got it wrong. But he thinks the dinos can go into like a cyst stage, so they don't need light. They just sit there and wait for everything to come back, and when the light comes back on, because there's suddenly everything else that's photosynthetic has died, there's no competition, so it can come out of its sleep state and then be like, party. So actually, he thinks it's that blackout is worse. Yeah.
I need to watch that live stream.
do it. And he's done it. He's made a 15-page guide, or one of his admins on his Facebook group has, that will talk you through everything. He was really good, genuinely, really interesting. And we always refer people to that page anyway.
Yeah.
And he's brilliant. If I get dinos, I'm on that page straight away.
It's interesting because John Wright has just put a comment in the chat that said basically that I could get one and then you could send it to me as a sample. This is not what I'm suggesting. Why has no one thought of this, where people can send them samples of their water, even if it's just £5 they charge just to look under a microscope? It will still pay for the cost of the microscope, won't it?
That's true. So
people will do that. Like if someone was out there with a microscope and I could send water to them, I don't have to pay 150 quid for a microscope, and they will tell me the answer. I'd like to do that.
Well, so he did say that if you send he's got a small team, I think, on the Facebook page, and if you send them a sample, they'll just check it for free.
Yeah, but I'm a bit.
I know, because not a.
I got a new idea. I'm gonna get a microscope and then advertise. People can send stuff to me.
Yeah, but so if you don't want to buy the microscope, you can do. But I personally wouldn't do that, because I think if there's 15,000 people on that group and he's adding more and more every week,
yeah,
I'd feel bad that I'm inundating him. So I'd rather, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind, but I'd rather buy my own microscope and not burden him, especially given he doesn't charge, because charging a tenner or whatever would be money well spent. But
yeah, that's what John said. So John's going to be my first customer when I get a microscope. Get 15 customers, it's paid for itself.
Exactly. But yeah, but go on, watch the live stream and go on that group, and he'll tell you what to do.
I'll have a look. I'd be interested to know what type it is anyway. It's just, as you said, spending £150 just to find out what type it is. It hurts, doesn't it?
I know, but I do think a microscope would be interesting to have anyway, because you're bound to come across stuff occasionally that you need it for.
Yeah,
but it's just, if it was 20 quid, I'd bought it. No hesitation. But 100, 150, whatever it was, it's like anyway. But it was good. It was good. And if I'll send you some of I've got this bottle of water glass coming, the sodium silicates.
Yeah.
When that arrives, I've got 1,000 times more than I will ever need.
Really?
So I'll put some in a bottle and send some down to you, and charge you 10 quid.
Yes. Yeah. And but yeah, as I said, I will watch that stream, because it's interesting. So
that's it. Amscape 150C is what he recommended.
Yeah,
he doesn't like the digital ones. He also, what else did he say? Miracle Mud is good. It basically talks about diversity. Miracle Mud and Aqua Forest Life Source.
Yeah.
But watch the stream. There are a couple of things that he said. Things like Miracle Mud and Life Source, Aqua Forest Life Source. It's not like you're just pouring in a random bottle of anything that could be a pesticide. Yeah. No names mentioned. But with that sort of stuff, it's all natural. And so it's like, well, if I'm adding phytoplankton, what's the worst it's going to do? Feed some copepods,
Yeah.
So, and I love that. It's not like, oh, buy this bottle of 50 quid reef tax stuff and put it in and it'll fix a problem. It's like, no. These are the things you need to do. It's all just sensible stuff that would benefit your aquarium probably anyway. So
I just remember there was one more part of my week in reefing.
Go on.
I remember I ordered my first box of inverts.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was all fine. So obviously they're not on the website, but some of them are, but I've got blood shrimp now, urchins, and fan worms. Like those, I think they're fan worms, feather dusters. The feather dusters aren't on the website yet. But I also ordered some fish. And what people don't realize is when you order fish, sometimes they give you the fish that they want, and sometimes they don't give you the fish that you want, and they just send you a random one. I don't know if they do it on purpose or not.
So because you ordered 5 wrasses, 5 Hooven's wrasses, and they sent you 3 Hooven's wrasses and 2 that look similar, right?
No, so I ordered 6 Melanaris wrasses. What I ordered,
Hooven's Melanaris. Yeah.
Oh, are they the same? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I got 4 Melanaris and 2 wrasse, which I was like, I don't know what these are. And then I put it onto the Facebook page, and people go, "That's a Melanaris wrasse." I'm like, "No, it's definitely not a Melanaris." I've got 4 Melanaris to compare them against. Now, to be fair, it wasn't the best picture. However, I now know it's an Argus wrasse. Is it?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
yes. That was the most commonly suggested answer. And when I Googled it, I was like, yeah, that is what it is.
So it's not that they deliberately send you nonsense. They're just like, oh, look, because it does look fairly similar.
Yeah.
They're just like, there you go, in you go, job done.
Well, it looks fairly similar, like when they're not
at
together, but when they're next to each other, you're like, these are 2 entirely different fish.
Yeah.
But interesting. What was interesting? On our phones now, we can press a button and it searches Google for that image. And the image comes back telling you what it is. It came back saying it was a Melanaris wrasse. So even Google got it wrong.
Maybe it was a junior or an adult.
No, it definitely it's as clear as anything. When you compare a picture of the other wrasse, it's definitely that.
Fair enough. And this wasn't a big one either, was it? So it's not like it would.
No, they're like little tiny ones.
Yeah.
But it's interesting when. If you've never been to a fish shop where they're opening the boxes, you'd be surprised at how they are packed and sent over, because they come in these little bags like this, like Ryan is currently gesturing little bag size,
2 inches.
2-inch. Yeah, they're in really, really small bags. One of the urchins was in a bag which was basically had no water in it, and I was like, "How are you surviving?" But I don't know. I'm not even. Sometimes I'm not sure if you want to see that side of the hobby. If you see what I mean.
Sometimes you don't want to know how the sausage is made.
Yeah. So, but to be fair, as I said, everything was fine except I think one thing didn't survive, but that was it. So
yeah, okay, that's good. Fan worms. So the fan worms aren't on there. You've got cocoa worms on there, but they're
these are the brown feathered dusters ones. I got 3 of those, but I haven't got a picture of them yet. And if I put them in the coral farm, which I didn't realize, the cob bands will eat them. So, but they're non-photosynthetic, so you can feed them. And I've put them in the sump of the water box because they don't need to be in the blacked out light bit. They're literally just in the sump, and I just feed them, and they're fine.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
They're as happy as anything in there. So, but I can't get a picture of them while they're in the sump, if you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it's just expanding, make it. I'm trying a few different things, see how it goes, basically. So
you've hit your target for the weekly review, Ryan. So
good. I'm glad to hear it. I liked how when I cleaned like the sump, the first thing I did was I sent you a before and after picture, didn't I? Because I thought no one will appreciate this except you.
Yeah. But seeing something dirty followed by a photo of something when it's clean, that's satisfying no matter what it is.
Yeah. See, this is why I'm terrible at being a YouTuber. This is honest. I've said this loads of times because there were loads of stuff I could have filmed there, but I don't want to film it. I just want to get on with it, and I just want to clean it and get on with it and do it. And do people care that much about me scraping algae off or something?
So I mean, I don't know. So like that's completely it though. So I made this weekend. I've been making motorbike videos for my motorbike channel, Average Biker.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I'd done all the stuff I needed, and there was a section that probably would have been useful to show, but I just wanted to get it done. So I was just like, I'm just going to. I can't be bothered to set the camera up, do a little bit, move the camera around, do a little bit. And I was just like, I just want to get it done. But the two bad things about that is sometimes you just want to get it done. You just want to crack on. You don't want to have to film it, put lights on, shine lights on it, change the camera angle, focus, all that nonsense. And other times, I don't know about you, and this is a private moment I'm sharing. Sometimes I'll come down on...
We want to know about what private moments you're filming and sharing.
You'll come down on a Sunday morning at 9:00. I'll be wearing my boxer shorts, basically.
Yeah.
And I just want to work on the tank in my pants.
Yes.
Right? And no one wants to see that. Or if you do, you've got problems. And there are times, genuinely, there are times when I just do stuff. And the only reason I don't film it is because I'm wearing my pants, and that's it.
What's that? Mrs. Reef Dork's in the chat. She also doesn't want to see you in your pants.
Exactly. No one does. So you don't want to see that 6-pack.
Yes.
So, but yeah. So I'm completely with you on that. You just want to get stuff done sometimes. So.
Yeah. It's funny because Sam was obviously in there, and I was filming a bit for catching the fish because that really was a bit more interesting. And I started talking, and I think he thought I was talking to him, but obviously because obviously you're talking to yourself essentially. And then I was like, look, I'll tell you when I've finished, and then and so you'll know when I'm talking to you.
Do you feel weird filming in front of someone else?
Yes, sometimes. Although you kind of. The difference is when you're on your own, you can do 1 take or you can do 1,000 takes if you want. If you're with someone else, you have to get it right straight away, or maybe in the maximum 2 takes. Because if you're doing like 5 or 6 takes, people think you're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's usually it makes my brain think quicker because you have to just get it right.
Yeah.
And although when I was in the car with Jamie the other day, that did give me I got stage fright. I think it's weird when you first put the camera on and you start talking into it because it's not a normal thing for people to watch someone do.
Yeah.
But after you've done the first take, so for the rest of the day, I didn't particularly care. Although what I've noticed is when I was at Coral Love to Reef, you can hear me whispering when I'm around other people. So when I'm on my own, I'm just talking normally. But when there's other people around that's close by, I sort of whisper a bit more. So
yeah.
Which again is odd. Why do I feel the need to do that?
You just get self-conscious, don't you? It's weird.
Yeah. So that was my week in reefing.
Are you drinking calc water? That looks quite misty.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's just because it's the light going against the back of the wall.
Maybe it's just water.
I drink Aqua, to be fair. It makes my hair grow faster. So
it's working.
Yeah,
it's working. I'm not sure where that hair's growing because it's definitely not on your head.
I'll show you later.
No thanks.
Anything else been going on in your week in reefing?
No, I'd say that was it, if I'm honest. Some of it we'll probably talk about later because there is obviously a big part of my week in reefing has been what this stream is about with regards to AquaH.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll continue to talk about that later.
We'll be on that in a second. That case. So yeah, cool. I've had a pretty quiet week in reefing because my main tank anyway is there's still ammonia in it. I tested it today for the first time. I've got one of those Seachem ammonia alert discs that tells you if there's any ammonia in there, and I trust them. I think they're really good. Yeah. But I just thought today, like Red Sea sent me their ammonia test kit and all that, and I was like, I should test. So I took out a test kit and did a proper test today for the first time, and it read the same as the Seachem disc. So I was like, cool. But I've still got ammonia in the tank. There's 4 or 5 corals in there now.
Yeah,
because corals don't care. Corals don't care about ammonia. So there's 4 or 5 corals in there now because I wanted to. I keep thinking I'm going to move all the corals from my water box tank in there at some point. And I'm getting nervous about that because there are some nice corals in that tank, and I've had them for a while, and they're doing really well. And I start to think, what if I move them across and they all die? So I just thought, and it's not going to happen. They're all going to be fine, but just you start thinking, don't you? So I thought, well, let's move across a few. So I've got half a dozen in there. They're all fine. They look really good, in fact. So I've moved some across, but there's not really a lot happening. I can't do much until the ammonia disappears, and then I can move the fish and the Aquascape and all that in. So the tank's not doing much. The water box, though, I can't remember if I mentioned this the other week. It went. I talked about the dosing. My dosing stopped working because it burnt through the heads because I hadn't diluted it properly. But anyway, so it stopped working for about a week, and my parameters got really low. My calcium got to 350. So I started dosing calquatter on there, got it back up, and everything suddenly looked much, much better. Yeah. So that is, and not because it's on calquatter, but because the calcium went from 350 to 420 or whatever. So but that's looking really good again now. So I just want to move it across though. It's like I want to get on and do it. Yeah.
It's one. If you've got that real motivation, it's frustrating when you can't move forward.
Yeah. There are some things I can do. Like I bought a DIY cover, the DD one.
They're awful. I'm not saying the DD ones. I mean, all covers are awful, basically.
So normally I'm with you, and so the Cade has got like a standard. It's got a Cade cover, but it's one of those DI mesh ones with a black rim. On all my other tanks, what I normally do is buy the polycarbonate ones, the fancy see-through plastic ones. They look really nice. But on the Red Sea tank, because it's got black silicone, not just on the sides and on the bottom, but all across the top as well. Yeah. And it's got a black brace. Well, it looks black anyway. I don't know if it is black. It's got this black frame. So actually it looks really subtle with just a DIY mesh cover on. So I'm not going to spend 500 quid or whatever it is on a fancy one. Yeah. I've just bought the DIY mesh cover. I bought 2 because I want them to be, instead of one massive one, 6 foot long, I want 2 3-foot ones. It's easier. But that's the only thing I can do now is set that up. And I can't be bothered because it's like,
The reason I said they were awful is because I have no DIY skills. So when I say they're awful, I mean the ones that I made is awful.
The mesh doesn't quite see right. But this is the problem. So because I watched Jay's Real Reef did a video on it. Actually, it was really good, and he took his time on it. I watched that to see how you do it. Actually, I was watching that before I bought it, decide which one I want. But you've got to spend time and do it carefully. When I've put those together before, I've rushed it. Yeah. And it looks rubbish. So if you spend time and get it done properly, it looks great. And I can't be asked to set aside an hour to tediously go through and do, or 2 hours probably, maybe more so. But I do need to do that obviously before the fish go in, because otherwise, Free Willy. So
that was the other weird thing. I have a cover on my tank, so obviously the fish jumped out. Yeah, there's a cover on it. So it must have happened when the cover was off.
But you would have been there when you were in the room.
Yeah, it was either me or work experience guy.
Oh, he's messing with you. He pulled the fish out.
That would be funny.
That's what's happened.
Actually, he actually caught. So I said I was going to catch my Soho tank because someone was coming to buy it. Because I'm selling a few of my fish now. So I'm going to sell my Regal Tang and a couple of sail fins and stuff like that. I'm trying to reduce the bioload of the system. And I said, I'm going to take the Soho tank out because someone's catching it. I left, came back probably half an hour later. He'd caught it. I was like, you definitely do work in a fish shop. So that it was, I was impressed.
Would you say he's better at catching fish than me?
Well, than you, definitely. One thing that I sent him a message afterwards as well, and I would say it again. I really appreciate, I really appreciate everything that he did. I don't think people show or tell each other that they appreciate each other enough. If you see what I mean. I don't know why you're smiling because
you did this with Jamie.
Yeah, I sent him a message going, I really genuinely appreciated that you came to help out, and it actually made a big difference because he thought he was coming to help me. No, he thought he was coming for himself to learn and do stuff, not realizing that as a side effect of that, it actually significantly improved my time in there as well. And you'd be proud if you went in there now. You know, you like to go, well, this is wrong or this is wrong. It's bloody spotless. It's spotless in there.
Okay. So people don't say that sort of thing very often. Actually, it's nice. I try to make a point of saying that sort of thing because people don't. And I don't know if it's got worse since COVID or whatever, but yeah, it's nice that it's made a difference and that you're appreciative. But actually one last thing on weekend reefing. I'm currently trying to find a container. Right.
Okay.
And I don't think for my new tank, I need to do water changes of roughly 70 liters, 70, 80 liters to get 10%. I have a water container that is 50 liters. And I get my water butts from Tanks Direct because they're HDPE and they're rectangular. You know the types. They're really good. They're not slim, but they're really good sizes. But the trouble is, I can't find any tank that is the right size, and I need one that is the same size as mine. It's 35 centimeters by 50 by 45 or something like that. But I need it to be taller. It can't be bigger in any other dimension, just taller. And I've looked everywhere. And I can't find a container that is the right size. I think I'm going to have to buy a glass, commission a custom glass tank that is the right size. But the main reason I don't want to do that, two reasons really. One, it takes ages. Any glass manufacturer, tank manufacturer, especially for a small job like that, that's going to earn them 200 quid or whatever, it'll be 6 months before it arrives. And secondly, that'll be really heavy. But does anybody know, can you get a custom plastic container manufacturer that's reef safe, so HDPE or whatever? I could go acrylic. I'll be happy to go acrylic, but I think they're getting quite expensive if it's acrylic. So can you get a custom container that will be made to the dimensions I want? If you know of one, let me know in the chat or in the comments, because I'm fine to pay for a custom one, but I don't want to have to wait. And if it's glass, I don't want it to be heavy. And if it's acrylic, I don't really want to spend £1,000 on it, So,
well, East Coast Reefer said just make one out of acrylic yourself, which suggests that East Coast Reefer can make you one.
Absolutely, that is not happening. If I made one myself, it would 2 minutes later it'd go, and there'd be 100 liters of salt water on my floor. So, no way I'd make one myself. But yeah, I want a company who will make it for me. So if that company exists, tell me, and I'll find out. I just want one done. But that's it. That's my week. I've had a quiet week, basically.
So I had a 25-minute week or 28-minute week in reefing. You've had a 5-minute week in reefing.
For the first time.
One of us is definitely carrying the stream this week.
Well, and 5 minutes really is pushing it because I've not really done anything. I always sit down and look back and try to work out what I've done. And I've got a spreadsheet of all my expenses for YouTube. So I often look down that, and if I bought something interesting, then I'll talk about it. I haven't done anything at all. So
not good.
But that does mean we can talk about Aqua.
True.
Aqua. So Ryan, tell us about Aqua. What's been going on? So you were saying earlier that it's starting to build up steam. So what's happening? So
the first thing that I think is really, really important that everyone knows is this is definitely 100% happening, is what I've been told. Okay. There was obviously the show was delayed. I think it was originally in May and it was put back to September. And then there was some people sort of felt uneasy about it. Now, we were both lucky because we were invited to a meeting with all of the people, well, not all of the people, a lot of the big people that are exhibiting there, all to have a discussion. And I brought it up that people were a bit nervous, and they basically went, look, they don't need to be nervous. This is happening no matter what. It is happening in September at this on the 20th and 21st, isn't it?
20, yeah, something like that. 21st and 22nd.
Yeah,
because they were a bit surprised. It was like, oh, really? No, it's happening.
It is absolutely 100% happening. And as I've said, probably 3 weeks in a row now, this is our chance. This has become an absolute passion of mine all of a sudden. It is it's weird. It's because so I'm not part of the show at all, but I am pushing it harder than anyway. But I'm pushing it as hard as I can. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So I have contacted all the other YouTubers who are meant to be going. Yourself is going. Jay's Real Reef will be there. Colette's Marine Tank's going. There is a lady called Amy does some stuff on TikTok who has nearly 800,000 followers. She's going. So who else? Moxie said that she was going. Yorkshire Reefer. There's probably some other people that I've missed, but the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to contact all these people and go, firstly, are you going? And secondly, let's start letting people know that we're going. The next thing I've been doing is, so I've been calling around some other coral sellers. Now, although people will think that it's a bit odd, why would Ryan want other coral sellers to be there? Because obviously that's competition for him, and I don't care. This isn't about one person. This isn't about me. Yeah. This is about the community as a whole. And I think there's 7 or 8 coral sellers now. I actually spoke to Signature Frags on Friday because I think he was originally a definite no. And the funny thing is, in fact, I know for a fact originally he was a definite no because he told me it was a definite no. Funny thing was, I said to him, I was also a definite no. And now I'm pushing it hard.
Yeah.
I believe he might be in the chat. I don't know if he's here yet, but he did say he was going to pop in today. I want him there because he's a big part of the community, and I think that I want to see his corals. If I want to see his corals, other people will want to see his corals too.
He's Signature Facts is a big attraction as well because he does high end stuff and he knows his corals. His SPS in particular are awesome. So people will be like, ooh, I'll go if he's going. But also, I put the thumbnail for this live stream on Instagram the other day, and he commented maybe, and I was like, interesting.
Well, he commented that, as I said, just after our conversation. I think I looked at the timestamp of when it was commented, and I think I've got him from a definite no to a maybe, obviously, as 50, he said. 50.
Well, in the chat, so because I would love to have him there. I think his place is amazing. In the chat, if you want Signature Frags to go to Aqua. Just comment or whatever, because we want him there.
But even better, send him a message on Instagram. If he gets loads of messages on Instagram saying, I want you to be at Aqua, it's like, remember how you peer pressured me into doing it?
I do. I remember well,
pressure other people. I also think, so I haven't spoken to her yet, although I do plan to speak to her at some point. Eco Marines are usually at these sorts of shows. And Dan Collective Corals was at
Love to Reef.
Love to Reef, yes. And in fact, I bought more coral from his tank, I think, than any other tanks. I was very impressed with what I saw. So I spoke to one of the titans in the industry. I don't know if I should say who it is or not, but I won't say. But it was a private conversation. They basically went that when you go to Reeferpalooza, you see worldwide corals and top shelf aquatics right next to just some random person that has who's just got a little fish tank in their basement that they're selling a few frags out of. And that's what's amazing about these shows. So because that is actually happening at this show as well. There are some very well-known names going, and there are some names that I've never heard of. But that's
those random shed seller type hobbyists, just with a bit of this as being a side hustle, will have stuff that you don't see elsewhere.
Exactly,
because they don't buy from the wholesalers that everybody else doesn't.
Yes, but also it's they have been collecting for a while, and they have an eye for what is good and what sells and what's special, interesting and what's special. So I think I'm genuinely excited to see what other people have, and it also it makes me want to be better. Because I'm going, look, I have to compete with these people now as well. So why would people buy from me when they've got other people who are just as good?
Yes to signature frags. Yes to signature frags. Yes to signature frags. Me too. Yes to signature frags. So on and so on and so on.
See that, Christian, like, as I said, it's easy. It's easy to put in the comments. Send him a message on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because if he gets a load of messages, he'll go, "Well, people actually do want me there."
Very true.
And yeah. And what I will say, it's not easy moving livestock, and there is a big risk, and I've just accepted it. Basically, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. That's just is what it is. But I'm not going to let that stop me from doing it. And that was one of his concerns, and I get it. He has some very, very high end, expensive Acropora. If that's what they're risky to move around.
Yeah.
So
the only thing is, because this happens in America, which is don't know if you noticed, it's a bigger country than the UK, and they ship stuff all over, and the logistics must be a nightmare. But they keep doing it again and again and again, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah,
but I get the reservation. The other thing I said, because we've talked about this a few times, and it's a thumbnail for this. I have no incentive for Aqua. I don't make money if it does well. I don't lose money if it does badly.
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting commission. Nothing. So.
No.
But yeah, I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really cool.
But as I said, it's people. Although you might think that we have influence on this, it's the people going that actually have the biggest influence. Because if everyone sees everyone going, everyone wants to be there.
Completely.
And I said this before, and I think you will have seen, TMC have now posted that they're attending, and TMC have a massive stand there, or they have the biggest stand, I think, of everyone going. And so this I think people are going to put effort into this. It's starting to become sort of like a competition as to how you can make your stand better to not necessarily outcompete, but to give yourself look.
Yeah, completely.
There's one thing that I did want to say actually, and I thought about this the other day. I have had literally loads of people offer to help me with do a stand or on the day or whatever, and that is great. But there are plenty of other people going which have no help at all. If you understand why, and those are the people that would really, really appreciate the help. Because if someone said, "Look, Signature Frags, we want you there, but not only do we want you there, I'm going to help you on the day," it makes it easier for him. And why should I have the luxury of having 15, 20 people send me a message going, "I will help you," if Signature Frags got to do it on his own? Because what I'll end up doing, all the people helping me, I will get them to go do my stand, and I'll go help Signature.
Okay.
Because it should, anything that can make this better. I want this to be a whole community thing. And you know what? If you go there on a Friday and help someone set up, firstly, you get first look at the corals. Secondly, it's you get it's part of the experience. Because originally, because Jamie's coming to help me, and I thought, why would Jamie want to come down? But Jamie was like, I'm really looking forward to it because it's just part of the fun.
It's fun, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And completely. It's I'm so glad that Jamie also listens to the chat, the podcast and everything. I'm genuinely so glad that he said he'd offer to help me because I'm relaxed now, because I know that I have someone that no matter what, between the two of us, we'll be able to sort this out.
Yeah, for sure.
So. Shamila in the chat, she's going. Shamila is actually the person who's organising a frag swap.
Yeah.
So, and that was one of the best bits about Love to Reef. The frag swap was exceptional, and I obviously there's meant to be 1,350 people going at the moment. So if 200 people and I came home with 17 frags, imagine how many frags you can come home with 1,300 people. So I'm looking forward to when that sort of properly kicks off. But I'm starting to plan it actually. I'm starting to plan my stand now. Some of it is top secret, so I cannot let you know. But
you've told me a couple of things just before the stream, and I won't say anything, of course, I won't spoil it. But I
don't want anyone copying me, you see, so that's why.
No, but it's really cool. And you've got experience of going and seeing various shows all over the place.
Yeah,
and you take inspiration from some of the really good ideas.
Yeah. some of the best places that I've been. I thought I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that as well. And so I've started a list of things I'm going to need. I'm going to need I think the main thing I need, which is actually not too bad, I need a banner. And you think, well, there must be a place that is easy to just get a banner with my logo on it. I want stickers to be made because people love stickers, and I've never been into stickers. And I always thought, why does anyone want stickers? But people like them, so I'll be giving a sticker away when people buy corals and stuff. So it's like part of the fun. I've ordered mugs, so we're gonna have a load of mugs there. This is one of them. Ryan pointed at himself for the people on the podcast.
Yes, I'm glad you said that.
So I'm learning. So there you go. Look, Licia has offered, said, I'm happy to lend a hand if you need it. I have offered Ryan to help, and I'm sure he doesn't need me on the day. Trust me, I'll need everyone on the day. I will need everyone on the day. I'm even thinking of like how to streamline it as well, because like there'll be a lot of people, and a lot of people will be at the booth. Will be coming to try and look at the corals. Now, that will put me under a lot of pressure. So how do I manage to process people as quickly as possible? Because you can only see sort of 2 rows back, like you're in the front row or the one behind that. And at Love to Reef, it was sometimes like 3 or 4 rows.
Yeah.
So and the 3 or 4 row people, they will get bored and leave. So how do I process people as quickly as possible? I was speaking to Sam about how things are like bagging corals. I've never bagged a coral. You put them in pots.
In the pots, yeah.
But like bagging a coral is like it costs you a penny, whereas the pots cost like 60p each. So
okay,
and obviously when you're saying
if you sell 100 corals, yeah.
So it starts to add up.
There's a couple of things I want to pull up from the chat. I've already lost the comments.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry.
But I've someone asked. Here we go. Where is it? Yeah. James said he wants. It'd be great if Aqua sent an email to people who have got tickets when they sign on new vendors. I've got no idea if they do that. I don't think they will do. But they had vendors. There are a lot joining at the moment. This is the current list. There's 35 of them, and they're coming thick and fast. So you'd be getting emails all over the place. But so I don't know if they'll do that or not. But if you want, you go on the aquah.co.uk and you will see the full list there.
They also release them on their Facebook page and Instagram page every single day. There's an update of something new that's happening, whether it's a new social media person that's signed up or whether it's a new shop.
So you can follow AquaH on I think the page on Instagram is literally called AquaH. Let me just find it. AquaH. Oh, sorry. AquaH_UK. That handsome bloke.
Yeah. Who's that guy?
Hang on a second. Hang on. Let's just do a test. 7 likes. How many is the Amy Does Stuff got? 11. Unbelievable.
What about Prestige Reef? Come on. It's going to be like 1.
15. Oh, no. I feel so inadequate. Oh, you bastards. I'm disappointed that you've got more than Amy as well.
I didn't. Then again, hers only went up yesterday, didn't it? Or today?
Well, this is very true. Yeah, she's there, so she'll fly. AquaH_UK anyway is the Instagram page. And there was people asking, I couldn't see exactly what it was. People asking about fish. There'll be no fish for sale there, just corals. Yeah. I think so. You can't sell fish there. I think it's because you need a pet license to sell fish, and the venue would need a pet license. Is that right? And they don't have it because it's correct. It's a big
I actually asked if there was a way, because if you think about it, you can buy fish remotely when like off a website. So and then they get shipped to you. So I did say I'm not be saying fish. I don't think anyone else is either. But I wondered, I think what you could do is you could buy a fish,
place an order
website,
there. Okay.
And then as long as you left the site, so you were like in the car park or not, like just one step outside the car park, if you hand it to them, technically I think that gets around it, but I don't think anyone's doing it. I'm definitely not doing it.
I guess no one wants to. You don't want to be like sailing too close to the wind, do you? So
it's too much hassle as well.
So I would work on the basis there won't be fish for sale there.
Correct.
But there'll be billions of corals.
There'll be loads of corals, loads of corals. And do you know what I'm actually genuinely really excited about? This is the first time that since sort of MACNA 2018, where this many YouTubers and social media influencers are in the same room. Because MACNA was massive, and you all made I met Inappropriate Reefer and Aaron's Aquarium, and there was all these other people. Reef Dudes was there, Milev's Reef. This is the first time since that time, because I've been to other shows, that this many people will be in the same room. So go and harass everyone except me, because I'll be busy.
You can harass me all you want. I won't be busy. I'll just be walking around with my camera. So
Yeah.
Well, could you bring your own pots? If someone gave you a pot, would you use that pot?
I mean, I don't see any reason why not. Hopefully, I'm trusting them that it's going to be clean and doesn't contain. See, would I want to be putting other people's pots? Did they put them through the dishwasher? And I don't know. But what I could do is I could give you a bag with the coral in it, and you could pour the water into your pot if you wanted to do that.
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah. People will need, because I think the one thing that people are concerned about, I've seen on a regular basis, I think it's actually part of one of the questions, isn't it? From
the member questions, yeah.
Have you got them up? Because you can ask.
Well, let's do the member. I tell you, we'll start with this one question in particular. Then, So this is from Skier Sailor Biker Guy, and he says, first member question. This one is maybe for Ryan, but at coral shows and specifically AquaH.
Yeah.
If you want to buy coral, do you need to take anything specific to transport it home? Do vendors keep a purchased coral in their bay until the end of the day? Any suggestions if you were planning to visit Saturday, then drive home Sunday?
See, generally speaking, even at the big shows in America, they don't hold frags for people. It gets too messy. It gets too, like you literally you have to
have 100 bags floating there.
Yeah,
it wouldn't work,
because if you say yes to one person, you have to say yes to everyone.
And then how do you remember who's bought what? And
exactly, it becomes quite complicated. However, remember, I ship corals all day, every day, so it's entirely possible to keep a coral completely happy in a poly box with a heat pack if you're staying overnight. What I would advise everyone to prepare in advance. Some people will take cooler boxes, some people will take poly boxes, but prepare in advance, because if you see something you want and you can't take it, then it's a disappointing. Whereas if you prepare in advance, you waste, I don't know, £6 on a box or whatever. Like it's worth it. Maidenhead do those bags for fish, don't they? Like those
fish bag, your plastic bags.
Yeah, those fish bags that work. But I'm not sure on the day. Will I have poly boxes available on the day? Possibly. I'm not. They
take up a lot of space, don't they?
That's the problem. They take up a lot of space, and I'm not sure if I would do it or not.
With most corals, bearing in mind I don't buy AquaHs anymore. With most corals, I would be fine putting in a poly box with no heat pack overnight.
Yeah. That would be fine. Probably.
So I will bring, when I go. Obviously, I'm going to go. I'll bring probably a few poly boxes, and I'll just have them there, and they can sit in they'll share a bed with me.
Yeah. Well, this is what I would be doing if you haven't got a poly box, and this is like shameless advertising, or anyone who has. If I've ever sent you a coral before, they come in a poly box. So if you've still got that poly box, that is perfect for the show.
True.
And then you can have a heat pack that you can buy off eBay, and then you're good to go. And you don't need a heat pack necessarily. It's in the summer. Generally, if it's not below like 16 degrees, 17 degrees, you don't really need a heat pack, if I'm honest.
And it's 3 months away, so you've still got time to go and buy a coral from Prestige Reef.
Exactly. And then you can save your box. So, but remember, if you're planning to buy a lot of corals from the show, you're going to need to buy a lot of corals from me, because there's 2 different size boxes.
Well, on that point, shameless plug for Signature Frags. He so when I went up there, he posted. I think I've bought from him online a couple of times now. He's definitely posted to me a couple of times. The poly boxes he sends you are enormous, and he sends you, because he's sending AquaHs, he sends you liters of water at a time. So buy a frag from Signature Frags.
Oh, I see how it is.
And then you'll have a massive box. So
yeah, I actually use the same boxes as those, but only for the larger orders.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I have 2 different sizes, because I'm Christian. I ordered some coral from him once, and it came in that box. I was like, I've been looking for a box for bigger orders, and now I know which one to use.
Yeah.
So, but any discounts at Aqua or special offers, come and see me at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock on Sunday is the day to come and see me. I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to see. I'm still not sure what I'm going to take, but I'm starting to think about it now. You have to plan in advance when you're like, I'm going to grow the corals now for the show, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to think about which ones will be good. So
okay.
So, yeah.
And so, someone just made a point. I've lost a comment already, but oh yeah, here we go. Licia, if you need poly boxes, go to your local Maidenhead Aquatics or your local fish shop. They're usually begging to get rid of them. Yeah,
that's true. But those boxes are massive. They're not like small ones that keep the heat in. They're like
sometimes they get frozen food comes in
true,
like a 1 foot long poly box. So, but yeah, there you go. Lots of options, and you can buy them really cheap for a few quid on eBay. To be fair.
Yeah, they're not massively expensive. Or as I said, free from me. That when you pay for delivery.
So not free at all. But, yeah, free and £200.
Yes, yeah, true.
But yeah, okay.
I actually I got a really like you won't appreciate everything because do you have fungias?
Yeah, I got 4 now.
Have you ever seen a 3-colored fungia?
No,
I've never seen a 3.
Didn't you send me a photo of this one?
Did I with 3 colors?
Orange and green and something else.
And purple. No, I don't think I did send you a picture of that one.
Oh, I think this is the one you sent me.
No. So that's just orange and green. Yeah, I now have an orange, green, and purple one. So it's that orange. It's not on the website.
Oh, okay.
It's that orange and that green, but with a purple stripe as well. And I was like, that is cool. So
special Reef Dork fungi. Interesting.
I'm wondering if I should see. That's the sort of thing where I go, should I sell that now? Or should I save it for the show so people can see it and appreciate it in real life, like in person?
For a show. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. So this is, I don't know, we'll see. So yeah.
Interesting.
But what we're trying to say, go and buy your tickets, book your hotel now, because trust me, do we tell people where we're staying or not?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're staying at, there's a Premier Inn that's like 8 minutes away. I don't know what it's called.
Coventry South, I think it's called. But it's the closest Premier Inn to Aqua.
Yeah, that I'm assuming that's probably the pub that we're going to go to because there's a pub next to it, isn't there?
We'll just basically it's the closest pub to where when we stumble out of the show. The closest pub is where we'll be.
Yeah, so
we'll work that out later.
Yeah, and I've also invited the other YouTubers as well.
Oh, brilliant!
And I've also told them that we're all staying at the Premier Inn. So quite a few people have already booked to stay at the Premier Inn. So it's going to be like YouTubers, all going out to the pub afterwards, probably, as well as anyone else who wants to join us. And I was a bit concerned with the woman who has 800,000 followers if she tells people.
A million people turn
at the pub, yeah.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
So yeah, that would be funny. We gotta make sure that we get in there first to get a seat. We gotta be the first one who walks in, and we'll put a reserve thing on our seat. So that we'll do rounds, but we'll do the last rounds. Yeah.
Very good. Oh, excuse me. I'll be tired. Excellent. All right. Yeah. So Premier Inn, Coventry South, I think it's called. Yeah. But if you're going to go, book your hotel now. You can pay. So I paid something like 15 quid extra, and you can cancel up to last minute, so you can change your mind.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and that means I don't have to pay now. I can pay when I get there.
Yeah. True.
Which is great.
So it's just I cannot tell you enough how important this is for the industry. And as I said, I've become even some of the marketing that goes out with has been helped by myself and Alex. Mm-hmm. I think it's fair to say. Would you not agree? That
I've done very little, but yeah, you've done quite a lot. So
it's because it's really become like a passion of mine because I've always wanted one of these shows. It's way too expensive to put one on. Someone has decided I'm going to do this for the industry, and I'd almost swear then I was going to go I was going to say FNL, just support it because this is our chance, and you don't realize how important this is. So plus it'll be a fun day. It'll be a fun day.
The more I think about it, the more I think actually this is not just going to be walking around like going to a local fish shop like you normally do. There's going to be a massive buzz there.
Yeah.
And that's worth it alone.
Because I think when people, if someone buys their ticket tonight, it will make them go, I'm supporting this. So when they go to the show, they go, I supported this show, and I'm helping to make success of it. Yeah.
And there's a question from Tom who says, are you going to be selling Etsy prints from off the back of your bike? I'm not, but you can buy 3D printed aquarium accessories from reefdork.etsy.com like this one. But no, I'm not selling anything there. I'm just going to be walking around with a camera filming stuff.
And my sign that you're going to be spinning around.
Spinning Ryan's sign, as it were.
Pointing to go. Yeah. It's but yeah, I've selected my stand now. I'm going to, as soon as you walk in, you should be able to see. I'm going to be in the, like, if you walk forward, you'll find me basically. Yeah. I want to be near the entrance. Look, there'll be like, it's not like you can't find someone in the room, is it? If you think about it,
there's a big room, to be fair, but
yeah, it is. Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Anything else you want to talk about with Aqua before we do member questions?
I wouldn't. No, I don't. I wouldn't say so. No, I think that's probably it.
Excuse me, I'm really tired tonight. Okay, so in which case we'll do the rest of the member questions. Loads of member questions tonight. Thanks everybody for your contributions. So we've done Skier, Sailor, Biker Guy. Next is from Bish Bash Ash, who says, does stirring up the sand bed feed corals at all? I've always wondered if the ensuing snowstorm of detritus is beneficial. I mean, it'll release a load of ammonia, and corals need ammonia, to be fair. But I wouldn't have thought so. I don't feel like there's much. I've never heard anyone do it. It sounds like a bad idea. And if it's not something people do all the time, it's probably not a good idea. And if you want to feed your corals, feed your corals.
Yeah, and remember, a lot of that will be dust, like from the sand being ground up. So although you think it's like detritus and stuff like that, it's actually a lot of it's literally just dust. Yeah.
So not a bad idea, but as in to think of, I just wouldn't do that at all. Rigsy, hello, Mr. Dork. Was I dreaming, or did I see your cat drinking your tank water in one of your videos? Does this have any adverse effects? You would not
tank on the cat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, very much on the cat. You were not dreaming. I'll see if I can find the clip because I've kept that clip.
I remember that.
Here we go. Let's play that one. Yeah, this is him. He just started drinking, and this is the water box. Early days. God knows what he was doing, but that's I think he's done it like twice ever.
Yeah.
Fortunately, and he's proper going for it. But drinking salt water that's not good for any living animal apart from fish, maybe. But So, but he's never done it. I think he did it literally twice within the space of a couple of months. Yeah. And he didn't show any ill effects, but he did. It wasn't like he was tasting anything. It was disgusting, but no ill effects to the cat or the fish.
He was obviously lacking in some nutrients.
Yeah,
some like the people have not like horse. I think have like salt licks, don't they? So maybe he was lacking in salt.
There you go.
You never know.
There you go. He's got maybe he wanted some manganese.
Yeah, true.
Or he maybe wanted Aqua to grow quicker.
I knew you were going to make that joke. I was going to make that joke myself. I went, no, I'll let Alex do it.
Thank you. JJS. I watched a video from Chummingham's Reef last week, and in it he said pH is probably the most important number in the hobby. Wondering what you guys thought about that statement.
Well, I haven't measured my pH for 17 years.
How are your tanks doing?
Fine. My parameters are fine, okay? As in, like, I think that it does have an effect. I think you're far less likely to kill all your corals with pH than you are with some of the other parameters, if you see what I mean. Like, if alkalinity is vastly out, is that... I don't know. I don't think it's correct in my honest opinion, because let's put it this way, if I've never tested for 17 years, it can't be the most important parameter, because some of my other parameters have definitely killed corals.
No, and I think that's from an old video. I seem to remember watching that, and I think basically what he's talking about is he's seen the difference, a massive improvement, because he runs his pH at like 8.8 or 9 or something crazy. Yeah. And his tank is pretty nice. His corals are amazing. But I don't think so either. I love Aqua. But I don't. That's the trouble is, it's definitely if you've nailed everything, you've got your nutrients on point and you're testing them constantly and making sure they don't drop or spike. If you're doing the same with your alkalinity and your calcium and your magnesium and all that sort of stuff, then there's no harm in doing that. But the problem with a statement like pH is the most important number is people who are new to the hobby. And that's whenever I talk about stuff, that's who I'm trying to talk to really most of the time. If you're new to the hobby, it's easy to think, oh, pH is massively important. Reef Dork said it'll make my corals grow quicker. Yeah. It's like, no. Just pH will probably take care of itself for the most part if you're doing the right things.
Yeah.
and worry about that later. So I don't agree, but I'm not saying that pH isn't important.
I think it's what people do to turbocharge their tanks, but don't try and turbocharge your tanks.
Exactly.
Just try and get the basics right. If you're a beginner, just get the basics right, and you'll have more success than trying 100%. To do every sort of weird thing to maximize your growth.
You shouldn't be looking to pH to turbocharge your tank. You should be looking at for the cherry on top of the icing on the cake.
Yeah,
in my opinion. But
yeah, turned up. Notice how the chat's gone crazy.
Signature frags, hey!
Yeah. Now I need to ask you something, Signature frags. Did you receive any messages? Because I requested everyone send you messages on your Instagram. And is the reason you're here to tell everyone that you are definitely coming to the show? Because you said to me on the phone that you were coming here to see what people thought about you going, and you can see from the chat already, people want you there. So
we were talking about you earlier. We were talking about you earlier, and lots of people were like, yeah, get him to go.
Yeah.
So this is, and the thing is, this is what I did to Ryan. I forced him to go to Aqua by pressuring him into it. So he's doing the same now.
Yeah, and as I said, and you may have missed the bit at the beginning, but if you go back later, 20 minutes ago, you'll see that although, and I said this to you on the phone, although people will see us as competitors, there is no animosity between us as far as I know. And I want you there because you're a big part of the community, and people will want to see you, and you're one of the people that people will travel for. Simple 100%. As that.
Yeah.
So the next message in the chat from you should be, I'm coming. No, wait, I'm going to be there. It's probably a better term. But yeah.
Excellent. Well, there you go. Yeah. So, and yeah, it would be wicked, because then you've got the two biggest and, dare I say, best online coral sellers in the UK.
Yeah. What we're going to do each week now is I'm going to contact on a Friday a different coral seller, and then peer pressure them on the live stream to sign up. Yeah, it'll be great fun. I'm so excited, and that's the thing I will tell you. Once you've said yes, because originally when they spoke to me, I said no on Friday, thought about it, and then said yes on Monday. And once you said yes, that's it. Your brain kicks in, and you go, right, what corals am I going to take? How's my stand going to be? And it becomes really, really exciting.
But it's funny because you went from being like, and I spoke to you like obviously off camera as well.
Yeah.
And you were just like, oh, I don't know, logistics and all this sort of stuff. And you went from that to when you committed, it was like it switched, and suddenly you weren't thinking about the worrying things. You got excited, and so Liz just said, "This is the most emotion you've ever shown on the stream."
It's so true. It's because I want this to happen so badly, and I want it to be a massive success, and I want to be part of that success. If you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I want it to be so good this year. They do it next year, and I want them to come back to me and go, Ryan, you made a difference. I want you to be part of it again. You see what?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so Signature Frags is doing this, although on the chat he's doing like an embarrassed a
cover face emoji.
Yeah. So it's time to start thinking. Plus, Signature Frags, if you would like someone to help you, now's the time to ask, because someone in the chat will help you, and it might be literally just carrying boxes out of your car. But I said earlier, people that are listening should offer people that are attending help, because everyone's offering me help. And there are people that need help more than I do. So, yeah.
This so I've not bought frags from him for a little while because I've not visited there because he lives miles away. If you go there, I'll buy plenty of frags off you. Remember how much I spent last time?
Oh,
quadruple it.
He didn't say that to me. Wait a minute. You don't keep it. Oh wait, let's just. Yes, you're good. You'll definitely buy lots of corals.
Yeah. Member questions. Carrying on. Okay, so we've gone through that one. Push button reef. Have you noticed with RS complete care that you only need to take a calcium reading once a week, but there's nowhere to enter it? I've not started it yet. I've still got the bottles over my shoulder, and the problem I had was that. So this is my doser. That was the head that was broken, and the replacement tubing has arrived, and I've installed it. I just haven't set it up yet, so I've not noticed that. But when I've not even looked at the instructions yet. I think the instructions say that if you tell the dosing pump, it will work out the dosing for you. But I'll comment on it when I've looked at it, but I haven't noticed that. And he also says, actually, firstly, there's another thing he says: member for 2 years, 1 month, and 5 days. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support.
That is a long time.
Longest serving member, first ever Reef Dork member as well. Reef Dork bows down. And a final comment is from Pushman Reef is, I have a soft / LPS dominant tank, but I have high flow area that nothing seems to like. Are there any high flow LPS I could add to my family? I mean, some people say about scullies. If you see them in the wild, they get caned by huge waves and they're fine. When I've seen scullies in high flow, it looks like they're peeling off the skeleton. So probably no.
My Galaxia grows in really, really high flow. But would you want Galaxia in your tank? The question. But it does. It grows. It's like right in front of an MP40. Like, it's absolutely being hammered, and it grows so fast.
Yeah.
But wait, no, sorry, Galaxia. Sorry, I was thinking about the question
okay. Yeah. Any others?
I'm trying to think what's in that tank. I have some chalices that grow in really high flow as well.
Okay.
I have some chalices. Again, you have to work out when you have a farm what grows in front of the MP40s. Because obviously you need the flow to go all the way, but you don't want it to kill the thing that's right in front of it. And the things that are in front of it, I have chalices in one of the LPS trays, and the other LPS tray I have Galaxia. So those are the two things.
So the two corals that are closest to my power head on my my water box LPS tank, and the power head is right also by the outlet for my my return pump, are two favias, and they're growing like a good one. In fact, I posted photos of both of them on Instagram this week, and you can see them. So they're getting not quite direct flow, but more direct than I would like. My gonnies do all right in relatively high flow, to be fair.
I've seen some very high flow gonnie tanks.
Yeah.
And they're like absolutely like going all over the place.
Yeah. I suppose the answer is try it, suck it and see. But there you go. You got a short list of corals that might be worth looking at. And then this is sad news, unfortunately. The last comment. This is from Licia Reese. Bit of a sad one today. Sorry, guys. I decided it was time to shut down the first marine tank I had on Thursday, but I wanted to keep all the corals from it. So I pulled all the corals out, held them in another tank with the water from the tank they're going in overnight until the next morning, dipped all the corals and rock. I had a lot of pests in the old tank I didn't want in the new one, and put them into the new tank. Come in today, which is 2 days from closing the old tank down. Every single coral I have, other than the zoas, is stripped. Absolutely kicking myself for it. Not sure if the dip did it while they were already stressed, or the fact that nights rates were higher in the old tank than this one. Can you give me any tips on how to stop this ever happening again? It's things like this that really make me question if I'm capable of this hobby.
It's interesting because that's what you're worried about, isn't it? Like you mentioned just before the stream, you're about to move over some really, really nice corals.
So I'm not worried necessarily about them stripping. I'm worried about them suffering over the space of weeks. But first off, the comment you made at the end is there are things like this that make you question if you're capable of this hobby. This happens to everybody.
100%.
Everybody. You name anyone. Tidal Gardens will have had this. BRS, that guy, he had issues like that with his tank. Yeah. I've had issues like that. Everybody gets that. So it's just the hobby kicks you. It makes you feel shit sometimes. But it's nothing to do with you. If you're as diligent as you sound, you'll be fine. Take a bit of time to feel that way. But anyway, the only thing that stood out there for me was dipping the rock. I don't think dips kill bacteria.
Yeah.
But dipping rock to me is unusual. I wouldn't do that. But I don't know. I don't know if the parameters were different, if particularly salinity. Or if something else was significant was different, but maybe dipping the corals did stress them when you dip them and move them to a new environment. I don't know.
It's hard without like literally going through all the parameters and everything like that. It's difficult to diagnose something on live on here, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. But there was nothing apart from dipping the rock. There was nothing that I thought was particularly unusual there. But more to the point, there was nothing that I thought, it's that.
Yeah.
But
Licia, I actually might ask for your help on the day. And I think Sam because I believe you work in a Maidenhead, Licia, and Sam also works in Maidenhead. And I think I want people helping to sell corals and pack them and take payments and everything. Those are the people that are the best because they've been doing it already. So if you send me a message, Lizzie, I will I'll talk this through as if it's like a one of the consultations I do where we can go through everything. Because I said, if you've offered to help me, why shouldn't I offer to help you? So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, so we'll do that.
There you go. It'll work out. And lots of more people saying the support for Signature Frags. Christian says, I'd like to come and show support as the first and hopefully many large shows. I would bring a very limited range of coral from a few basic sticks. My first show too, I'm 50-50.
But what will get you not 50-50?
Yeah, what do you want to go 100%?
Because I reckon you're like actually 80-20. I think from the start of our call to the end of our call, you got a little bit more excited nearer the end. You're asking about where banners get made and the size of the tanks and stuff like that. You don't ask those sorts of questions if you're 50-50. And you also said to me, as I said, you wanted to see what response you got. You got a very good response. So what is it that will get you that extra 20%?
They say you regret the things you don't do.
True. As I said already earlier in the stream, I understand why it's difficult, obviously, with the types of coral you keep. But this is like this might actually be a one-time thing. So why would you not want to do it? It'll be a laugh.
Well, yeah. So actually, the one thing, actually, I was going to do this in the news, but I'm just going to refresh and make sure there's no more member comments because a couple do come in late. No, I was going to do this in the news, but I'll say it now. So MACNA has been cancelled this year.
I know, I saw that.
And they've cited, but like the statement was a little bit unclear, but basically I think it was, or not quite as direct as I would like, but I think it cited revenue and demand because it talked about people who are interested in other forms of media. And so that felt to me as though they're saying there isn't a demand for it. And it's not generating money. But this is, this is going to happen. This isn't going to be cancelled. And so it might be your own. I actually don't think it will be the only one because Love to Reef has got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And I think Paul's got every intention of doing it again next year. It's probably too stressed now because it's hard work organising it.
It's reached maximum capacity in the room that it can be in, I believe. Right. I think I spoke to Paul, Fish Palace, and I think 200 people is the maximum amount based on health and safety reasons for that room. Now, I don't know if having a different room can mean you can have more people or whatever, but I did ask him, like, would you move to a different venue? And I'm pretty sure he said that he would have to expand.
But even if you have it just with 500 people or 400 people, whatever it was.
200 is the limit, I think, for that room.
200. Even if it's 200, that's still good. But anyway, whatever. I think that will still go on. And I think this is going to be, the one that we're doing, AquaH, is going to be a big success. And I think that will be back even bigger next year. And suddenly everyone will be like, this is amazing.
That's what happened with Love to Reef. The first year was like maybe 50 people. The next year was 150 people. And then the third year's 200 people. It's exactly. Like, it builds momentum. But to get it off the ground, you need the support at the beginning as well. Yeah,
indeed.
So...
do you want to do a fish of the week and a coral of the week?
Yeah, if you want. The fish of the week I'm going for. You didn't know I was done it, have you?
Bloody hell, you're not messing around. Yeah, I thought you were going to say no for some reason.
I'm not even sure why I picked this fish. Well, I do. So when I was planning a fish-only tank, and I'm not even sure if this is still true. Remember, this was 17 years ago. I wanted a butterfly fish, and butterfly fish are not particularly hardy, are they, with other fish? But apparently a saddleback butterfly fish is known to be one of the hardier, like more rambunctious butterfly fish. So for whatever reason that came into my head earlier, I thought, I'll show you that. I can't tell you anything about them. It's just a fish that people don't normally see.
Hang on a second. Sorry. Saddleback butterfly fish.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. You've caught me off guard.
I have caught you off guard because normally I don't do, I'm not prepared. You need to realize that I'm, sometimes I do my homework.
Oh, these guys are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I like them a lot. See, for some reason, I always wanted one of those, but I'm not even sure why I've always wanted one. I just think they look cool.
Yeah, that looks like it eats corals. Did you say it eats corals? Yeah. That's a real butterfly fish. They're so awesome. I love butterflies.
Someone on Ultimate Reef had an all butterfly fish tank, which I think you have reached the pinnacle if you've got an all butterfly tank.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it got to. It was when I saw it, it had no corals or anything in it. But butterflies by themselves are hard enough to keep, let alone having a tank all butterflies.
Yeah, very nice. I approve of that fish of the week greatly. That's one of my favourite fish of the week ever. Of all time.
Interesting. There you go.
Coral of the week.
Coral of the week, I'm going to go for a Frankenstein bounce mushroom. And the reason I'm going for a Frankenstein bounce mushroom is because, firstly, I bought one yesterday, so that'll be in stock soon.
I feel like this was the Coral of the week last week.
Was it?
Was that a different one? Maybe not. Actually, this looks different. Oh, hello.
So you see, this was one of the corals which I saw at Reef Palooza that I never forgot. So when I went to, that's why I picked it for this week. When I went to, when you go to these shows, you see things you don't normally see.
Yeah.
It takes a long time for those pink bits to get like really big. But I bought 2 of them recently. One of them I fragged into 4 different pieces, so I could get 4 out of it, and one of them I'm keeping big. But it's quite it's a statement piece for the people that like mushrooms. So let's put it that way. And as I said, I saw one. It was probably about the size of the palm of my hand for the people in the podcast, and I never forgot it because I was like, "That is impressive. I've never seen something like that before." And that's what these shows are about. I didn't buy it. I couldn't buy it, but it didn't matter because I saw something that I've never seen again.
And it stuck with you.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that I will be able to do that for some people. I'll be able to take corals that they go, wow, I've never seen something like that before. So that's what this is about.
I've just realised I should probably stay on the Friday night before AquaH.
Oh yeah. Why?
Because if I'm going to get there and start filming stuff, I don't want to be filming when half an hour before people are walking in.
No, I know. Yeah. Plus, you can come help.
Yeah. Also, yeah.
Yep. Because Signature's coming now, so you can help him set up his stand. You heard it here first, people. Signature definitely.
I will do that. Fine. Okay. And I think that means we're on to the news, right?
Yes.
News. So plenty of news today. There's a mix of Ryan-friendly news and a mix of news that Ryan will glaze over and be like, oh.
Can we do like one good, one bad?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know what? We'll do that. Okay. So first off, I know you like automatic testers, so this is.
Oh, you weren't. I said one good, one bad, not one bad, one good.
All right. We'll start with a bad one.
Okay.
For you only, by the way.
Yeah.
The Mastertronic Essentials. Focustronic updated their Facebook page, Instagram page this week to say that the Mastertronic Essential will probably be the only all-in-one testing device which can use third-party reagents as well as their own reagents for all main parameters. So you've got a choice now as to whether you just buy their stuff or you buy Salifer or Red Sea reagents or whatever.
Yeah,
which is cool. I would prefer to buy proprietary reagents. I don't want to be going around and buying 5 or 6 different reagents from different places for everything. I'd rather just buy them all from one place. But I suspect that would be more expensive. So it's cool that they've worked out the option. And actually, so it must be difficult to work all of these out, calcium and nitrate in particular, because the Refactory Smart Tester, I went back and watched my review of it the other day.
Yeah,
I'm setting up on my new tank. And when they launched it, they said it can test nitrate, phosphate, calcium, and magnesium, obviously one at a time each.
Yeah.
At the moment, you can't get reagents for nitrate or calcium. And it's like almost a year on. It's like, come on, that's quite slow.
Yeah.
It's just about okay not having that at launch, but as long as it follows quickly. But anyway, so these guys, so Focustronic have worked out how to do all of those parameters with their own reagents as well as other reagents. So that's cool. And we're going to bring it back with some exciting news for Ryan.
Okay, I'm back.
Back in the room. Which one? You like tangs, don't you? So
I do like tangs.
Biota.
I saw this. It's the convict tang, isn't it?
Captive bred convict tang. Yeah. This is a young tang. It looks a bit ropey, to be honest, because it's only small. But it's kind of cute as well. But yeah,
they're tiny. I bet it's much smaller than you think it is. It'll be a lot smaller than that picture. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So they've been working on this for 4 years. This convict tank.
Yeah.
And they finally figured it out. So, so you can now. Well, I say you can now. Did it say if there was an available date? Probably not. Pricing to be determined. The first batch will be reserved for biota customers who will keep us updated with photos and videos as their fish grows. If you're interested, please let us know. So if you want one of those, I presume it's states only, but maybe not. If you want a biota captive bred convict tank, get in touch with biota.
I think you can get their fish over here. So you do get captive bred fish sent over from different places. So
yeah, but if they've only got 10.
Oh yeah.
But
just quickly on that. So with yellow tangs and purple tangs and other tangs, breeding them is good for the wild and stuff like that, but it doesn't make a significant difference with regards to the actual fish itself, because those fish usually will readily accept captivity. Convict tangs and mandarins are the two big ones. No, there's probably more other than those two, but that don't. And most convict tangs don't survive. Captive bred ones, this could be like seriously changing for the species, if you see what I mean. Like massive difference. A captive bred one compared to a wild one could be much hardier. So it probably is definitely worth the money, even if they are expensive.
Very interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they're very difficult to keep alive, convict tangs.
They're one of the tangs that Worldwide Corals always talk about as being brilliant algae.
Yeah, I've got one there. It's one of my favorite fish. And I got mine from another hobbyist, but trust me, there are plenty that don't survive.
Yeah,
some of them will even eat, and they will still starve.
Yeah, I couldn't afford to buy a captive bred one.
Well, you know how it is.
Well, no, I can tell you, I can't. If you have to ask, Ryan, you can't afford it.
Well, I'm going to say you might go through 3 or 4 wild ones, and then you'll pay for the cost of a captive bred one.
I can't afford 3 or 4 wild ones either. But what I'm going to suggest is biota send me one for free. Send me your first batch, all of them. If you've got 100, send them to me for free, and I'll make a video. So that's fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't say fairer than that.
True.
So what was I going to say? Finest Aquatics apparently have a Frankenstein bounce mushroom in stock.
Yeah.
According to someone in the chat. Right. I've done good stuff for you, Ryan. That means I have to do bad stuff as well, right?
Yes.
Because we're alternating.
One second, let me just get this out of the way.
No. So there is a new light coming.
Okay.
It's Bluetooth.
Oh, very exciting.
It's from
That's not exciting. Like other lights are Bluetooth.
Yeah, the AI stuff is Bluetooth, I think, and Radion's are Bluetooth as well. Yeah. But anyway, it's from AquaEL, I think, Polish company. And if I'm completely honest, it doesn't look very exciting. I love lights as much as the next man. But it's this one. It's ultra slim. It's called AquaEL, whatever it is, ultra slim Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And this is what it looks like above a freshwater. There are various options, so it looks quite slick, to be fair. But from what I could see, I think it's relatively cheap, but prices range depending on what size. From what I could see, it's one color temperature. So it says the Ultra Slim BT has a marine 10,000K preset, and so that's it. So your options are 10,000 degrees Kelvin, or however you say it, or off. So if you like 10,000K, the way that looks, wicked. You will love that light. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And that's like there's the Tunzi 8811. There's a Tunzi light that's set up for marine, and it's the same. It's one color. That's it. It's either on or off, and it's interesting because it's submersible, so you can literally put it underwater, but it doesn't make your cars look very good. So I think that will have niche appeal. But anyway, if that's what you want, go and have a look at it on the AquaEL website or on Reef Builders to find more information. And now we go back to there's only good news from here, Ryan, as far as you're concerned. Anyway.
Good.
Captive bred convict tangs working on for voids. Yeah, there is another fish. It's a hybrid. Did you see this?
No, I don't think I've seen this one actually.
I'm not sure you're going to like this because you're weird about these fish. So it's from Monsoon Aquatics, which I think is based in Australia. Yeah. collected from the GBR. It is a lemon peel hybrid.
Yes, it's got blue dots on its tail, doesn't it?
That's the one, which looks like a flag tail to me.
I don't not like it. I don't know how much it is. That's the one I'm interested in.
Yeah. So it says it's a lemon peel with a spotted tail. I don't know if that means there's an angel called a spotted tail angel. I don't think so. I think it's just a lemon. I don't know. I didn't actually read up to see what it was crossed with. It was collected. So this is not captive bred. We've probably seen 5 to 10 hybrids. Lemon peel hybrids are generally a variation, and they're quite boring. Yeah, so no price. If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
I to be fair, I actually do like it.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, because you don't see that. It looks like it's been crossed with one of those spotted damselfish. It looks like it got really frisky that night. Because there's damselfish that have those spotted colours, but there's no other angelfish that have those spotted colours.
No.
So what did it breed with?
But yeah, so lemon peel angels are I wish they weren't so coral eatery.
Lemon peels are your favourite.
They're one of my favourites. I don't know if they're flame angels are better. They're so bright. There are a couple of. So I'd rather have a regal. I'd rather have a flame angel. But I think apart from those two, I just love them. They're so cool.
Yeah.
And that one with a little spotted tail, that's pretty awesome.
There you go.
And then the other news was Machna, of course, which we mentioned earlier, which is not going ahead. And then this is news that I discovered by going into a shop. This is not news available online. I went into Maidenhead Aquatics Woking this weekend, and it's shutting down. So it's moving to a different location in Warplesdon, which is near Guildford. But they're not going to be doing marines when they move. And they said that similar story. It's doesn't make any money basically. They told me one weekend they sold 80 quid's worth of stock, and it's like it's just. And I don't have a context of what that means, but 80 quid doesn't sound like a lot.
It's not a lot. Not a
for
lot
a weekend. No. So basically, there was no money in it, and when they're moving, they're downsizing to a smaller place.
Yeah.
And so they were like, look, we just can't afford, we can't justify doing it. If they move again in the future, they'll go back to it, or they'll consider it anyway. But for now, Maidenhead Aquatics in Woking will not be selling marines.
I'm trying to think if I've been there.
It's at a garden centre, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've been there, but it is happening everywhere. Mm-hmm. Everywhere this is happening. It will get less and less. There'll be less and less shops to go to, which is sad because I remember the days when I go to 5 shops in a day. It's like you used to do a shop tour, and you go along, and then you'd see if you find anything interesting, and
I still do that.
Yeah, but you have shops closer to you. I don't.
I'm fortunate. There are a few near me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's definitely. It's without a doubt, the hobby is definitely shrinking. I think that the financial situation at the moment for a lot of people is obviously the cause of that, because the hobby is a luxury. Mm-hmm. So although it's important, it's an absolute for many of us, where we'd rather sell our partner than our fish tank. The reality is, it is a luxury. Like, you don't need a fish tank, and you definitely don't need a marine tank, and you definitely don't need that extra coral, and that's the problem.
To differ. But yeah, completely. But there you go.
And that's why this show is very important.
It is important. Yes, you are important. And that is the end of the news. We finished early. I thought this was going to go on long today.
Oh, have we been through everything? That was quick.
I know, hour and a half. But that's fine. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about, Ryan?
No, I want to know if Signature Frags is still in the chat. I want to know if he's still listening, because if he's listening, we need an answer now. Peer pressure. I'm going to send him a message in a minute, going, "Come on, let me know. Okay. Let me know."
It would be so good if he goes.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying, there's been loads of support. People want you to go tonight.
Okay. Who? Actually, I do have one question. What do people want to see at the show? Like, be specific. What do you want? Like, what do you want me to bring? Do you want me to bring loads of SPS corals, loads of LPS corals, loads of like soft corals, weird corals? Like, what is it you're actually interested in? Because like Jamie biceps, yes, someone was bring. But don't worry, Les, they'll be there. Yeah, Les was over the other day, perving on them. But yeah, I'm interested because I want to learn. I want to learn from why do people keep saying biceps? Mugs. I've actually ordered. I've ordered. I think 50 mugs. I've ordered 10 of all the different designs. So you better come. You better come buy them. I assume 50 is gonna be someone else said t-shirts. Like, would you see? I wouldn't buy a t-shirt, but would you buy a t-shirt?
Possibly. It's a cheeky thigh. So, like, if you go to a concert, loads of people buy t-shirts there. So I was asked if I'd be bringing merch. I don't have merch, and if I did it, I'd want to do it properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, people love that sort of stuff, don't they? Like stickers. People love stickers. They cover their like cabinet doors in stickers.
I will be bringing inverts as well, because obviously I'll have a limited amount of space for the corals, but I can have an urchin in there roaming around. So people can buy the urchins, so I will be doing that as well.
Euphyllias. Oops, hang on. Bring euphyllias, yeah.
Someone mentioned it earlier. Someone else told me they have prestige reef towels. Yeah, someone mentioned that. And when I saw that, I was like, that is such a good idea. I could have them in the background behind.
And but people who don't watch this would be like, what the hell's going on?
I know I did think that. I thought it would be weird, but
I really want to do a Reef Dork towel.
Yeah, because I know it's just something you can just do, and it's like
you use it all the time, and you want it to be right anyway. Cutouts of those cutouts of me with hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He wants the ones with the hair on the pictures. That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Cyphastria.
Yeah.
Rare Cyphastria.
I've got like probably 10 different species of Cyphastria. So
cool.
Yeah. People do want t-shirts. It's interesting, but this is what I thought. You can have a design of t-shirts, but then you have to have all different sizes, and it becomes a bit more complicated than just a mug, because anyone can have a mug, and
exactly. Yeah.
But how do you know but does the t-shirt really need to fit properly, if you see what I mean, like perfectly? Because it's not the sort of thing people wear out. So if it's slightly too big, it doesn't matter.
I think it'd be like a water change t-shirt, that sort of thing. But the thing is, you can do that on Etsy, and obviously I've got the Etsy shop already, so I've got there. It's called print on demand, where you create the design and then you send it off to someone else and they process it. But I don't like that someone else has control over the quality.
Yeah,
I don't get a sample, so I don't know what you're getting. I don't,
The person who's making the mugs, actually, I actually know the lady. But do you know what I love about this live stream? What I absolutely love about the live stream is so I've literally got a message going, I've got an embroidery machine if you want some towels made. It's like, these are the things I'm going to need. I'm going to need a banner. So I said, I'm happy to pay for them. You just let me know where they come from. Some stickers, embroidery machine, apparently. Yeah, because it'll be great. It will be great to do. And look, if I can have some prestige reef towels, absolutely, I have some prestige reef towels. T-shirts seem to be a popular thing as well. Mm-hmm. I want it to be like real fun, and like, so maybe I will get T-shirts in just 2 different sizes. Just I used to have so come to think about it, I used to have a T-shirt that says "This is my water change T-shirt," which I used to wear while doing a water change. Yeah, so I could probably it'd be easy to get that remade, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, Reef Factory sent me a t-shirt. It had like a dosing pump on it with an octopus on it. I was like, mate, and massive Reef Factory letters. I was like, I'm not wearing that in public because I'll look like a brand whore.
Yeah.
But I actually did end up, I wore it just around, it was like just a dusting around the house t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'd go out and I'd be like, I'm just going to keep it on. So you do wear it. Yeah. But I had to cover it up when I went out because I felt like a dickhead. But
see, but this is the thing. Just because I don't wear those t-shirts doesn't mean other people don't wear those t-shirts, if you see what I mean. But as I said, I don't know where to get them made. I don't know what the quality of them would be. Yeah. But people will see the quality, won't they?
Yeah.
So I think it will be a laugh to do. And I'm gonna write that down. Write that down. See? I want this and
I'm going to write down.
Are you going to write down 2 as well? Well, are you?
I'm going to write down twice.
So it's I want this to be to create a stand that other people want, and if you give me suggestions, I'll absolutely think about it, and the good ones I'll do. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm genuinely really. I wish it was next week. I genuinely wish it was next week.
Yeah.
Because I can't wait. So.
All right. Well, we're going to finish on a high note. We're going to end there.
Yeah.
But keep if you go in the comments after anything else that you watch that you see this afterwards and you want stuff you want to see something there, no matter what it is, within reason, put it in the comments of this video, and Ryan and I will both see it. So
yeah, brilliant.
All right, and Gary, just seeing your comment. Cheers. Right, thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining, Ryan. Catch you all next week.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.